So we'll see how to connect to the web interface. And so you have to go either by a local host if you have the machine installed in a local machine, or in if you have on cloud, you have to go to the IP address, and then you have to see the username and the password, which are usually Sen4CAP by default, and then you enter the system, and then in this tab you have the possibility to create a new site, and then to do so you click on it, and you will have to define a name for this site and upload the shapefile of the area of interest, as we explained. So it has to be a shapefile which is combined into a zip, and then with a projection of the VGS 48 and 84, sorry, and this area of interest has to be quite simple. So you have to really define the site with like a big potatoes, and it will be used for defining all the tiles of your zone. So it will be used for the images. And then once it's done, your site is created, and then now you have to configure it. And to do so, you push the button edit, and you have to add a monitoring period. So, but you can also choose the sensor. So if you want to work with Landsat 8 or not, you can here click or deselect it. You can also choose the tile of Sentinel-2 you want to work on, and Sentinel-1. So Sentinel-2 and Sentinel-1 are mandatory. And then add a monitoring period. So to do so, you have to first define your season name, usually the monitoring period name, and then define when your season starts and when it ends, which is quite the agricultural period of your area, and the mid-season will be when the automatic mode will start for the scheduled job. And then you save it, but you have also to active some processor for the automatic mode. So it will be jobs that start automatically, and the L2A and the L2A for Sentinel-1 are mandatory, and the LPs too. But you can choose if you want to have this automatic mode for the other processor, and the L3B doesn't need any subsidy information layer, so you can already active this processor for sure if you want, of course, this vegetation status information. So that's all, and then you save it, and you have your season. This is defined for your site, and to be sure that it's created and the system starts to download the images, you have to enable the site. Yeah, sorry, I went a bit too quickly. So you have to, yeah, sorry, my slow. So here you have to enable your monitoring period and your site to be sure that the systems know that the site is on. So when it's done, the system will start to download the images. But if so from the SciHub, if it's on a local machine, so it will download the Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2 images from the SciHub, and the Landsat 8 from USGS. If you choose to work with Sen2 Core, you it will directly download the L2A images instead of L1C. And if there is a local depository, if you work on a cloud service, for example, you have to import all the data, and that the systems make the link between the database and the storage of the image, both for the Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2 images. And then when all the images are available in the system, it will start to process. As we explained, the Sentinel-2 and Sentinel-8 will be either processed with Maya or not processed using Sen4CAP, and the Sentinel-1 will be processed by doing a backscattering and a weekly coherence. So that was the first step. And then you can see in the system where are the status of your home. So if you can choose your site, I don't know if you can see my mouse, like you can choose your site, and then you can see if there is error in the download, how much images have already been downloaded or not, if there is some downloading for the moment, and also information on the job that have been done and that are running for now in the moment. Yeah, that's all. And you have also information on the statistics. That's a new tab that have been added in the new version of Sen4CAP. And there you have the orbit acquisition reports and reports on monthly reports of the preprocessing. And there you have so those reports on where you can either choose the kind of satellite, the orbit number, your season, or your which months you want to have information on over the number of acquisition for those indicators. And then you have a monthly report also for this preprocessing where you can choose those parameters. And if there is, you are able to see if all the acquisition were well processed, or if there was error, if if there is falsely processed or not, and so on. Usually it should be like in the image. So another tab which is useful is the system overview, and there you have information over the system and how much resources the system is using at the moment. So the CPU, the RAM, and so on, and if there is the storage left on your machine. You have also information on the currently running job and all the modules used in these jobs, if they are completed or not. And yeah, that's all. You have also in the project tab information of all the images and the projects that have been created by the system, and which are by site, each information you have and which is stored in the database. And for the images, you have like this quick overview of the images.